Hey hunters, welcome back. It's Steve, and today I'm back with a brand new project. So, right next to me you can see my brand new witch. So, she was actually found guilty of witchcraft, and she will be carted off to her hanging very shortly. And I'm going to show you how I made her. So, without further ado, let's get started. Alrighty everyone, so to start off this build, we are going to be building the witch's frame out of PVC. So I made an elongated PVC rectangle. So I'm going to take some 3-way fittings that are threaded and put some other fittings into the threads. These are all 1/2-inch fittings. I'm going to take some 4-foot pieces of 1/2-inch pipe and attach 2 of these fittings onto each end of the pipes. Then I'm going to use some 6-inch long pieces of pipe and connect those together to make 2 flat rectangles. And then I'm going to connect the 2 flat rectangles together with some 8-inch long pieces of 1/2-inch pipe. And then we're going to have one 3-dimensional rectangle. Then I'm going to saw the 8-inch pieces in half, on both the top and the bottom, to make room for the fittings that are going to connect the pieces together. It's just easier this way than measuring. Then I'm going to take some 3/4-inch fittings, so I have a T and a plus, and I'm just going to cut off some of the extra on each of the ends, and this will make each of the fittings more narrow to fit in the space that we have. Then I took 4 1/2-inch T's and I put some PVC into it and then trimmed it down with a hacksaw, so there's about a 1/2 inch sticking out of them. And then I'm going to drill pilot holes in all of our pieces. So we're going to basically be making an H with the 1/2-inch T's, and then the larger fittings are going to be in the middle. So that way the 1/2-inch shaft that's going to run vertically throughout the entire structure will be able to spin freely within the PVC T and the plus that are the larger size. So we're just going to assemble the cage by hammering everything together. And then I'm going to fit the shaft down the top, so through the 3/4-inch pieces. And then I'm just going to screw the little 1/2-inch chunks that are sticking out of the smaller T's down so that they're not wobbling all over the place. And since the structure isn't flat on the bottom, I'm going to be using 2 pieces of 2x4, and I'm just screwing the PVC frame into that base, and that'll keep it weighted so it won't topple over. And then I'm going to be taking our shaft on the middle and just making a cut and connecting them back together with another 1/2-inch T. And that's going to create a perpendicular shaft to help with our rotating motion. Then I made a shaft to attach to our reindeer motor. More about this is shown in my Leering gravestone popper video, so take a look at that if you want to learn more. And then the piece of PVC sticking out of the rotating shaft, I just connected together with some picture hanging wire, and the up and down motion of the motor causes a side to side motion on the main shaft, as you can see here. And now for my favorite part, we're going to attach the head. So I put a piece of duct tape over the pipe. Then I took a plastic bag filled with more plastic bags and I kind of balled it up, and I'm just sealing off the bottom with duct tape. And then I'm going to pinch it down and wrap the bottom with more duct tape until I have a round head shape. This will also be waterproof, and it's much cheaper than styrofoam heads. And then we're going to take our witch mask that we got on eBay from China for like $3, and we're just going to pop it on top there, and we have a rotating head. Then I'm going to take a long piece of pipe insulation foam. I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to thread a zip tie through it. not too close to the end because we don't want it to rip, and I'm just going to zip tie it to the top of our frame. So the corners of the frame will act as her shoulders, and then the insulation tubings will act as her arms. Then I'm going to take a Halloween costume that I got at the thrift store for $10, and I'm just going to slide it over the head. I'm going to slide it as far down as I can, and then I'm going to thread the insulation tube arms through the sleeves. Then I took a collar from another costume that I got and I just tied it around her neck just to kind of hide the PVC. And I want to make it look like her hands are tied up, so I'm going to use a zip tie to attach the two pieces of insulation together. And then I'm going to bend it up to look like her elbows are bent, and then attach it with another zip tie towards the shoulder on her right. And then I'm just going to trim off the excess of the insulation tubing just so her arms aren't scary long monster arms. And then I'm also going to zip tie her sleeves together just to hold them up a little bit more so her wrists aren't 6 inches long. I found a set of long purple gloves at Spirit Halloween. I used a 20% off coupon, you should too. And I had some extra like teddy bear stuffing laying around the house. And I'm just going to take wads of that and shove it into the fingers and then just fill up the hands. I'm not going to be filling up the entire arm, just the fingers and the palm, basically. Then I went and undid the zip ties on her arms just so I could add the hands. So I rolled her sleeve up and then rolled the glove down the length of the arm, and then I just zip tied it along the way just to keep it on with friction. And I'm going to do that for both arms, and then I'm going to tie them back together again the way I had it before. Then I took some 3/8 inch rope and I just tied it around her wrists, and then I wrapped it around her hands and then tied the other end some more and then just tucked it back into itself just to look like her hands were bound. So just as a warning, this is for decoration purposes only. I did Google how to tie a noose that I will be putting around her neck, so I went ahead and did that with the same rope that I used before. Then I slipped the noose carefully over her hat and her head, and I just zip tied it to the top of the PVC frame so that it wouldn't go anywhere, but I left it loose so you could see it hanging around her neck, and then I left the long tail end just kind of hanging along her robe. I also cut out a back section of her costume so that it wouldn't get tied up in the motor, and then I zip tied the back two corners to the PVC frame so that they wouldn't blow around and get caught in anything. And then for the last step, I took a permanent marker and I just doodled two pupils right on the plastic bags for her eyes. And that's about it. So she's finally done. I think she looks awesome. I got one of those skeleton horses from Home Depot last year and I built a cart for him to pull. So she's going to be perched on top of that as if she's being carted away to her execution. And I think she's gonna be a great addition to the yard this year. And yeah, I'm just happy with how she came out. So let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think she's creepy? Do you think she's kind looking? I wasn't really going for anything specific. I just wanted a witch and I wanted to add some animation. And I think this prop does a good job of that. Hey hunters, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment down below, hit the subscribe button, even hit the notification bell if you're into that kind of thing. If you didn't like the video, don't tell us because you'll hurt our feelings. Okay, thanks and happy hunting.